Hi everybody, this is Susie.
Cindy.
We just thought that we would get together and sit down and do a few question and answers for you, since some of our followers have put out some questions to us. So we thought today we would talk numbers. You know, there's a lot involved when it gets down to exercising, how many calories you're burning, how much weight you're trying to lose if you're trying to do that, you know, like some of your target goals. So we're not going to waste a lot of time before we get into it here. Cindy's got a list of some things. I know she keeps pointing at this one thing. So, you know, watching our videos, some of you know us personally and you know how we line up. However, I thought I would tell you that in case you're curious, we are both 5 foot 8 inches tall and we weigh around 135 pounds, give or take, you know, and with what's going on, maybe it's closer to 140 right now. And then when the summer gets here and we get outside, maybe it'll drop closer to 130. So we have maintained, I know we're waiting for golf season to start. So we have maintained that weight probably most of our adult life. I would say before we both had children, which was almost, for Cindy, 24 years ago, and for me, 22 years ago.
I was thinner.
I know, we were thinner. We were thinner. So we hung on to 127 for a really long time, and then we hit 50 and it wasn't 127 anymore. So
Don't beat yourself up.
Don't do it, because the older you are, you got to carry a little extra weight.
We beat ourselves up. One has to always be the fat twin, and one's the skinny twin, and the fat twin is literally a couple pounds. I'm probably the fat.
Cindy might be the fat twin.
I'm the fat twin at the moment.
But that's a couple of pounds. So my point is that, you know, you can be a few pounds overweight, but sometimes 5 pounds quickly turns into 10, turns into 15, and before you know it,
oh my God,
if you don't make any adjustments, now you're 25, 30, 40 plus pounds overweight. So that can really wreak havoc. So while I'm talking about the weight, here's a number for you. So every pound you are over your ideal body weight puts 8 pounds of pressure on your joints. And I'm talking about your hips, knees, ankle, and especially like lower back, because a lot of women have a tendency to carry their weight in the front. So that's going to make it really tough on the lower back, because you start losing the ability to stand up straight. And, you know, if you're 40 pounds overweight, you know, go pick up 2 20-pound dumbbells in the gym and see how really heavy that is, and walk up and down the stairs with that, because that's what you're doing every single day. So 1 pound you are over your ideal body weight puts 8 pounds of pressure. So if you are 20 pounds overweight, it's 160 pounds that you're adding to, you know, walk around, and it really starts to hinder
knees,
back, your
shoulders,
mobility. And then, you know, you don't sleep well, because once you start getting heavy, you know, we all know as human beings and women, because we've all said, oh, I just want to lose, you know, 10 pounds from my stomach, or I want a pound off my arms. And then we all complain because we lose weight and, oh my God, like my chest got a cup size smaller. It doesn't, you cannot spot reduce. It's a fact. We've all tried it, and we know that you fail miserably when you try that. So you have to remember that when you start gaining weight, you know, you start getting heavy around your neck, and then sleep apnea starts taking hold, and you find sleeping on your back is problematic. So we started with those numbers. So there you are. So next time you're in a gym, or, you know, where you can get a dumbbell, I want you to pick up a 20-pound dumbbell.
Or when you're working out with me and you're like, oh, I can't do that, and it's a 3-pound weight. Trust me, what we're working towards is that 3 pound turning into 5 pounds. And I always insist, oh yes, you can. You can do it. My students know it. If you're going to carry around 20 extra pounds, me asking you to pick up 3 just ain't that big of a deal.
It's not that big a deal.
So, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
No, we don't, you know, with the exception of, you know, recovering from some major injuries and some conditions you might have, we really try and push our class. Because she and I have both had, you know, here's another number. I've had, let's see, 2 knee surgeries and the shoulder surgery. And that was in the last, well, one was at 27, and Cindy had knee surgery at 28. So we both had bad knees back then. And then within 15 months, I had this full thickness tear to my rotator cuff fixed, and then my right knee fixed 15 months later. Cindy had a spinal fusion, a cage built. She's got a 6-inch scar up her back for basically landing on her tailbone, and breaking the facets. And that was 6 months of intensive, recovery and therapy. So that's why we encourage your comments. I want to know if you've got some problems that we need to identify, and you need to have a private conversation about what you think your limitations are. And certainly you need to speak with your physicians before you engage in a major exercise program. So,
all right, let's talk a fun number. Because, I like to come up with ridiculous trivia, but we're all adults here, and I suppose that in our being sequestered.
oh, yeah.
And sort of the joke about the giant martini glasses and how much are we really drinking. Okay, fine. So, what really, it wears on your liver with respect to alcohol. And some of you might be surprised. This is my fun number. So what makes it toxic?
Oh, I don't think it's fun at all.
What makes your liver toxic in the course of a week on average? So 14 units a week of alcohol is sort of the number that you want to stay under.
I'm blowing it.
Yeah, I'm sure sometimes I blow it by Wednesday. So the fact is that, okay, so they say it's 14 units a week. So what is that? That's 1 ounce of booze
So
a
that's
day.
a shot.
Yeah, right? An ounce of booze is a unit. Unfortunately for you wine people, a glass of wine is two.
No, I'm saying 3 ounces of wine
Yes.
is a unit. So that's a half a glass. Like that's take 3 shot glasses and fill it 3
2 shitty
times.
sips.
Right, it's
Yeah.
nothing. So
So you got a half a glass of wine, which means in a week, you wine drinkers get 7 glasses of wine in a week.
that's it.
We get a healthy pour of maybe some vodka, and maybe a beer is also a unit. So 14 beers a week, 14 ounces of alcohol. It seems
I know.
that's probably like one whole Long Island iced tea though, in one
Oh, I
sitting
know.
compared to
So-
how her husband makes them, or a half glass of wine. So that's your alcohol. Now you want to counteract that to flush those toxins. How much water should you drink? Everybody's like, oh, I gotta drink a gallon a day. I gotta drink, I
No.
gotta drink eight glasses a day. All right. So here's the number. Take your body weight and divide that in half. And that's the number of ounces of water that you should drink in a day.
Right.
So honestly,
I got some work to do. I'm still like at what time here? It's the afternoon and I'm still drinking coffee.
yeah. So Susie and I, with the weight that we have, we're probably looking at, we're still looking at those
A half a gallon.
yeah, half a gallon of water.
Yep.
Don't forget to do that. Get it all done before 7 o'clock at night, or the rest of you ladies will know you're going to be up all night. So that's my drinking number, and your body weight with respect to water and how much you should be putting in your body on a daily basis. And it's hard to remember to do it.
So we're gonna shift over here. So we've talked about the calories in drinking. We didn't even get to the calories. Cindy's just talking about the effects of alcohol on your liver. And too much alcohol, it's dehydrating. So it will make these bags under your eyes start to, you need to hydrate.
Puffy.
So yeah. So I'm gonna touch briefly on. There's 3 things that are really, really major anti-aging benefits, and you should be mindful of this every day. First of all, you need to sleep. You need to sleep. There are very few people who can function with a clear head and have enough energy to get through a day on 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep.
Who are you people?
Yeah, no, we're not
Who
those people.
are you people? You're not human. Okay, I'm sorry. Excuse
No,
me.
she's gonna interrupt.
4 hours of sleep?
No.
You're kidding me.
So wrap your brain around the fact that
I would be in a coma by 3 o'clock. Time.
She'd fall down the stairs is what she'd do.
No.
So you should be getting 7, 8 hours of sleep a night. I know even 7 hours for me is not enough. And while we've all been locked in our houses with coronavirus, I have easily done 8 to 10. No sweat.
Regularly.
Because this is when your body repairs itself. You have to give your body that restorative sleep so that you're ready for another day. 8 hours of sleep. I don't know what y'all are getting, and your body's best, but don't push it. You cannot, most people function, like I said, in 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep. I remember when my kids were babies and they had me up. every hour and a half or something.
Oh my
And
God.
after a couple weeks, I literally was ready to shoot myself. I was exhausted. I was falling asleep standing up. I couldn't do it. So you need that sleep for the restorative purposes. Second is EFAs. And those are essential fatty acids. And you can get them in a pill form.
Oh, look, there's a bottle right there.
Yeah, Cindy's got a pill.
I give some to me.
I know.
I give some to Bumble.
You need them because you want to sort of lubricate. You know, we're all about putting eye cream on and moisturizer and all kinds of stuff. She's going to go get some.
Yeah.
And, you know, we take care of a lot of what we're doing on the outside. You know, ladies, we're all about the moisturizer and the soap we use on our skin, and we got to use eye cream and, you know, all of that. But you have to lubricate your body from the inside out. So,
Sitting right there.
yeah, there you go. Fish oil. And you can get it from food, although like with vitamin D, it's very, I'm going to take one. It's very difficult, like with vitamin D, to get it through your food. So in a lot of instances, you need this supplement. So this helps lubricate the joints. It also helps, you know, we don't always want to take olive oil on our skin or, you know, because then you start breaking out. And it's not, you can do it this way. So you need 8 hours of sleep. You need essential fatty acids, which is fish oil, which you get from tuna fish packed in oil, not in water. Ugh. And salmon. There's a few other ways, but those are the two that come to mind, or this pill. Now, the third thing is an anti-inflammatory. Now, that has never been a problem for me because there isn't a part of my body on every single day that doesn't hurt. The knees this morning, you know, all I had to do was touch them, you know, because I think it's going to rain outside. So, you know, she and I are these walking barometers where we know that the weather's going to change. You know, our knuckles, you know, your hands start to hurt. You know, like we said in our other video, our elbows are starting to hurt from tendonitis. There's no way to escape it naturally by, you know, like I said, we're 57 years old and you're going to hurt. 120 years ago, the average lifespan for a woman, here's a number, was 42. So we're doubling that. Average lifespan for a man today, I think, is 78, and a woman is 82.
So here's another thing though that I started taking
So let me finish before she brings that in. So I was talking about anti-inflammatory. So it's not harmful to take. Do you see what in class? Okay, this is why we got separated. A Motrin, which is ibuprofen. So your doctor will tell you what's good for you because, you know, maybe some people are taking a baby aspirin a day as an anti-inflammatory and that's for their heart or whatever. So you've got those three things. You need sleep, EFAs, and an anti-inflammatory.
Yep. And the other thing I take is something, it's a collagen, it's just a powder, and it's a peptide.
Because we all lose that.
It's hair, skin, nails, it's joint
Right.
support, it's, and you can get this. I'm going to give you a tip on where to find some really great supplements that you're not going to GNC. I mean, I'm not ranking on anybody, so I'm not going
Right.
to say where not to go, but I'm going to tell you where to go. And you can go on Vitacost.com. I'm giving them a shout out, and I'm just for no reason.
No,
but
because you can get a lot of.
Yeah, Vitacost.com. You can get just about anything you're looking for, from your skin treatments to your vitamin
They
supplements.
sell
whatever.
a lot of organic
Yeah.
products too. If
Collagen.
you've ever bought Avalon Organics, you can get that from Vitacost.
Oh,
so,
Burt's Beeswax. They
oh
sell
yeah,
all kinds
sure,
of stuff.
Burt's Bees. So, all right, so we've covered that. So here, let's talk our next number. Cindy will go over, and we're going to talk about aerobic activity.
All right,
Okay.
so this is with respect to, you're like, okay, so we're working out, we got you moving, you know, pretty much every day doing something. So what does that mean? Aerobic activity, and it's hard. Like Cleveland still sucks outside. Susie and I got on our bikes the other day.
We
and-
had winter coats on.
yeah, today it's just awful, and I don't like being cold. So here's the thing: the recommended number per week is 150 minutes. Okay, seems like
Yeah.
a lot, but let's break it down by the day. So that's a 21-minute walk, or 21 minutes of some aerobic activity. For me, I can walk like a 15-minute mile. So that's for most of you who are doing a normal pace.
Yeah.
If you get out and put in a mile, if you can do that, as long as you're moving for that 20 minutes a day, let's just say on the days that you're not doing the workouts that we're showing you, or you're not taking my class, or you're not on a bike, or you're not in the pool, the idea between a strenuous workout, which I would consider that mine can be, and I push you pretty hard, and so does Susie. So that, let's just say that you need 24 hours, maybe to 48 for that recovery time. This is where your body is going to go through a restorative issue with respect to the muscles and the tendons and what I put you through.
You don't want to do, for example, what we're getting at here is, and this was in our 20s when we were power lifters and we had books and we charted the reps. Yeah, we did the whole thing. So you don't want to work, for example, biceps 2 days in a row, especially when you're lifting really, really heavy.
No.
So you don't want to be,
Right.
that's sort of the point we're getting at. So when you talk about aerobic activity, it doesn't have to be jogging, because most of us anymore aren't doing it. I have a few friends who are absolute beasts and they can still do it. And that's just never been our deal. We were never runners. We tried to do it and it was just painful and awful.
Oh, I ran 6 miles a day until I destroyed my knees when I was 30.
Yeah, it was no good for us.
Yeah, I'd take all that back.
Right. So it doesn't have to be, a mile swim in the pool, which I miss dearly because I'm a swimmer and haven't been able to be in a pool in almost 2 months. It doesn't have to be a 20-mile bike ride. We went for 5 miles, and you can be yard work.
Just as long as you're getting your heart rate up.
Get your heart rate up. It can be some yard work. It can be, find a local track, because you can't get in your rec centers right now. So walk around a track. But really, bundle up and get some fresh air. And I said before that especially in this climate in Northeast Ohio, the cold air is good for you. It's good for your lungs and it's good for your skin. So.
And I talked about, when we do these strenuous exercise, it's in your body, you're actually doing a little bit of microscopic damage. And I know that word has a negative connotation, but that's important with respect to muscle growth and strength and stamina. You're pushing your body to a point that it's stressed out, and you're going to have that microscopic damage. But and that's to the cellular makeup. It's a little bit of science, but when I say that you're actually, doing microscopic damage to a bicep muscle, that's where the growth comes in, when the body use that, restorative period of time to repair that.
Yeah, you're adding scar tissue in there. So when you tear these bicep muscles, okay, and the way that they get bigger is because it's filling in with scar tissue, which is why your bodybuilders and power lifters and whatever, to get stronger, they'll do tons, 4 to 6 reps, less than 8, and they'll do as much weight as they can literally handle. And you'll get stretch marks, because her son was a power lifter and he was really lifting some really heavy weights, and he's full of stretch marks all through his bicep. You can rupture them and whatever. So let's just all admit that we aren't at that point anymore.
No, so it's a good thing to do, because this is what leads to that. It leads to muscle growth. It leads to reduced fat, inflammation, better cardio health. So what's the last few numbers that I can throw out to you here when you're talking about overall body health? So a lot of you don't know, and certainly Susie and I seem to kind of know what these numbers are. It doesn't matter. Like some people, like for she and I seem to be the more stressed out of the two, because it's more of an anxiety thing for me, but it never affects my blood pressure. I could be on a full-blown panic attack and my blood pressure would be like 110/60.
Which is generally where we sit. It's about 110, 120 over,
75.
Yeah,
65 sometimes. Your ideal number, give or take, is 120/80.
Right.
That's an ideal number. Your cholesterol, a lot of you know now that you want to have it under 200. Body mass, now what is this number? And we used to we used to put ourselves through this.
The torture. Literal torture.
I think the last time I had it tested, I was in my 30s, and it was about 19% body fat.
I worked really hard, and I was 47, so that was 10 years ago. I was 6 days in the gym. I was probably 10 pounds lighter than I am right now. So, you've got to get rid of some of that body fat to lower your body mass index. And I got to 19%, and I didn't stay there too long. It was just really difficult because I was hungry and cranky and tired.
So let's just say that as we're talking probably to the majority of us are over 50 in this age group, you want to look at 25% body fat, 30,
yeah.
I mean, let's be, you got to be realistic. And I can tell you a lot of that is going to come from being physically active. The other part is going to certainly come from that diet. There's no way around it. You got to watch what you eat.
And while we're on the subject, I'm going to say this because we're talking about body fat. Because you hear frequently, and it is incorrect, when the narrative out there is that I'm going to turn fat to muscle. Absolutely not possible. It's not possible.
Say that last thing about fat cells, and then
here's the thing with fat cells. We are all born with a certain number of fat cells. All right, so she and I were blessed, okay? We're narrow in the hips. You know, we don't have saddlebags. We don't have, no, we don't. I mean, we never did. We don't, and that's just not how we're shaped. So you have to look at your gene pool first of all. Now, what happens with fat cells is that the heavier you're getting, and I'm removing weightlifting because muscle weighs 8 times what fat does. Okay, there's another number for you. 8 times. If I took these 2 coffee cups, okay, my cup here full of muscle is going to weigh 8 times
what that cup
because
of
fat
is.
requires nothing. It doesn't want anything. It doesn't care if you sit on the couch. It needs no nourishment whatsoever. So, well, I'll get back to that one. So here's the deal with that when you hear I'm going to turn body fat into muscle.
No, you ain't.
No, you're not. So what happens is that the only way to get rid of fat, if you think that this is happening, is to have liposuction. Straight up. Now, I'm not recommending that at all. I'm not even saying that. When you lose weight, and you're still working out and doing all that and building your muscle, what's happening is your fat cells are shrinking. You're
not gaining or losing fat cells when you go on a diet when you get thin or get fat.
No.
You're literally either reducing the size of the fat cells that you have as you get thinner, and you're increasing the size of those as you get heavier. It's the same thing with your stomach. Your stomach's only the size of your fist. Okay,
Yeah.
You can stuff that sucker, and it can stretch. Oh, and it will.
Take a look at what's on your plate and then ask yourself if what's on your plate is going to fit in this.
Sorry.
Eat off a salad plate. You know,
Right.
You have to start visualizing some of these things. So, getting back to that, your fat cells, you're born with a certain amount. I know, look at her. That over time, when you start getting love handles, saddlebags, back here, that's because the fat cells are going, and you're feeding them full of sugar, or flat out too many calories. So sugar is hidden in a lot of things. So let's be literal. You can go for the white stuff. You got a sugar bowl sitting there, right? So that's obvious. Cookies, ice cream, we know that's obvious. The sugar in your wine, which is loaded with sugar. If I were you, I'd go to like clear vodka and some lemon juice for a while.
Hit the heavy stuff.
Now, for sure, there's a lot of sugar in fruit. I'm not a big proponent of fruit. I might have a little nectarine or something. Baby carrots, especially the baby ones that they've already peeled for you, are loaded with sugar. A lot of store-bought spaghetti sauce, loaded with sugar. Now, your hidden sugars, pasta, I'm going to tell you this. Stay away from the white stuff. Make it easy on yourself if you're trying to lose weight or even just do better for yourself. White rice, pasta, potatoes, cereal, crackers, bread, and then there's the obvious: cookies, ice cream, donuts. I know muffins. You guys hate my guts. I get it. So the thing is if you're gonna have a muffin from Starbucks with your coffee,
I didn't show my diabetic treat wheel.
I know, which is ridiculous. I can drag it over here, but it's for the kids. Then you cannot eat the never-ending pasta bowl from Olive Garden. That's where they do that. And then at night, after you've had dinner and 3 glasses of wine, end your day with 2 scoops of ice cream. Forget it.
You can. Go right ahead.
You
Go
can.
ahead.
But if you're trying to work on something, then if you're going to blow it, pick where you're going to blow it. If I know that I'm going to have a Long Island iced tea,
guess what? There ain't no dinner.
We're not eating dinner. No. It's some trail mix, man, and then that's it. So
it's all calories at the end of the day.
Your body doesn't care what's calories. So Yeah, there you go. So we're trying to wrap this up and keep this under 30 minutes here. So remember that. And these are some things to ponder, and we can certainly get in more detail if you guys want to shoot us a message. But we've been asked these questions. That's why we touched on all this, like, how do you do it? What is this? How do I lose that?
It's funny, people say I talk more than Susie. I don't know. Is that true?
No. Well, it might be. But at any rate, I'm going to let Cindy wind this up. So, I know. Well,
right, I get to talk. Okay, good.
She gets to talk. So, she's got something on her mind. I'm going to
let her know. Actually, I don't. All I want... What are you doing? She's
Go
leaving.
on.
Okay, so all I wanted... We don't want to start laughing, because when we start doing that, we won't shut up. Okay. So, thanks. See you later.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't have anything else.
Nothing
It's
else?
It. Nope. I pretty much threw out the numbers that I wanted to throw out, and that's that. So
keep a food journal for a while.
Yeah.
If you're concerned about your calories and can't seem to figure out why you're not losing any weight, I suggest writing it down. And I'm talking about
get your Fitbits out.
The Jolly Ranchers, whatever. I'm just looking at stuff,
What,
and I'm
treat
looking
wheel.
at her ridiculous, There's one banana in her treat wheel.
They had no bananas at Target when we were in there today. None.
No,
I couldn't find them.
And loaded with empty carbs.
That's because her kids come over here and they're like, look at the treat wheel.
I know. They
want to eat it. So,
I'm going to go like this.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to show
that?
you what's right behind me. It's killing me.
Oh.
This.
They ate them all over the weekend.
And let's just go high end and put our M&Ms in a giant apothecary jar.
I'm gonna have a blue one. Okay, you guys have a good day.
Don't eat the whole bag, so you can eat one.
Yeah, don't eat the whole bag. There's about 20 calories in each one of these.
No, there's not.
10.
She's lying.
Okay, you guys have a good day. I'm gonna have another one.
Send us some questions because we want to talk to you and get you where you're trying to go.
Bye, y'all. Bye. Have a good day.